maybe this isn't something that you're capable of doing, which is interesting in its own right. But I'm wondering if there is one highlight in a positive way about his presidency or of his presidency that you think is something that we might expect from him in the future. And also if there's something profoundly negative that sticks out in your mind that makes you worried about the future based on what happened between 8 and 4 years ago.
Okay. One thing I think Trump does, I'm not sure whether the terms positive and negative work so well, but one thing that he does that I welcome is he opens the space within American political leadership for something other than what in European countries is called center-left, center-right. European countries, most of them, have multiple parties. They don't have two parties the way we do. They have 6 or 9 or 3, but they don't have 2. They haven't constricted their political space so that you're voting for Tweedledum or Tweedledee. Americans make a bigger deal than Europeans about we stand for freedom of choice, except in politics, where we don't need it. 2 is more than enough. We want 15 kinds of toothpaste in the supermarket on that shelf. We want green toothpaste and toothpaste with little blue speckles in it and toothpaste that'll make your nose shine as well as your teeth. We want all that choice and all of our choice. But when it comes to politics, 2 is all we need is 2. 2 that are colorless copies of each other most of the time, at least in my lifetime, post-World War II. Trump blows that up. Trump says no. When Trump mocks the Bush family, Jeb Bush from Florida, who was the heir apparent when Trump begins, the Bush family dynasty, like the Kennedy, and all of this.
Jeb low energy.
Yeah, Jeb low. Oh yeah, little quips. Even the quips are interesting because you're not supposed to do that. When he mocks McCain because he was captured, I prefer prisoners of war. I prefer war heroes that aren't captured. You know what I mean? Grotesquerie, sort of. But it opens a space to not the usual oatmeal. This is something else. And so Trump makes something else possible. In that way, he functions like Bernie Sanders. And that's why they had the peculiar link between these two. I remember being struck by the number of people I encountered, just me as an individual, who said to me, I'm either going to vote for Trump or for Sanders. Those are the ones I like. I got that a lot here in New York City from working class people who were wondering which way to go. My son-in-law comes from Mississippi, a Baptist minister family in Mississippi. They also were discussing around the table Trump and Bernie. They weren't going to vote for in between. They didn't want the same old, which is how they talked about it. So Trump, like Bernie, gets a lot of points from me for opening a space. That's positive in some sense for me. And he continues to do that. I wouldn't like it the way he does it. That's crazy stuff. And he's not a serious person. I've been a professor all my life. And you learn, if you're a professor all your life, pretty quick to see which students are in there trying to learn and which are there because their parents told them, this is what you do now. And in a few years, we'll go get you a job. And you go here and get decent grades, but it's okay. You start drinking Thursday and go through Sunday. As long as you get decent grades, the job will be there when you're done. I've learned to recognize those people, particularly when I taught at Yale and Ivy League type places. That's very stark. You get the children of the rich who are there because that's a rite of passage. They go there. Their grandma went there, and so they go there. And those who are there because they want to learn something. Trump is the one who's there because their parents put him there. He has no interest in, he doesn't crack a book. The whole idea of doing that strikes him as stupid. He wants to get drunk, make some money, do things with young ladies, and all the rest of it. That's why he's there. And that's who he is, and that's all he's ever been. And the best description of him is the one given by Howard Stern. They understand each other. No longer, they're enemies now, but they were close friends. So for me, that's a positive breaking out of the mold. When Bernie says, I'm running for president and I'm a socialist. And when they say, oh, you're a socialist? Yeah, I'm a socialist. He doesn't walk away, as so many did. I can't tell you the number of my professors who, when you look them up historically, were socialists when they were younger, but you'd never know it. They have cleansed themselves as if that was a disease from which they had to escape. So it's refreshing and it's different in American politics. And Bernie was dismissed as hopelessly irrelevant because he was a socialist. He proved everybody wrong. And Trump, in his way, did the same. He's a clown, no one took him seriously. He's a playboy in New York who's given a lot of money by his real estate papa, all of which is true, and therefore he's irrelevant. It's all true, but he's not irrelevant. He's gonna upend the establishment of New York and all that. So for me, that's as close as this society gets to recognizing something is changing. They don't want to go there, and they want to squash it. The Democrats are squashing Bernie, and the Republicans would like to squash Trump. Not working, but they want to, and they'll keep trying. They've excluded Bernie. Look at him. He's marginalized really effectively. They haven't been able to do that to Trump yet. But they're trying. All the suits put him in jail. I mean, they're trying to sweep him out of the story of the Republican Party. So that drama is positive only because it opens a certain space.